Hey everybody, today we're going to review the process we use to design and build high-converting e-commerce websites. Over the years, we've seen many brands building Frankenstein websites that lack clear directions and goals. Then they add way too much clutter, apps, and unneeded headaches to their sites. And boom, clutter, confusion, and chaos. We want to help you avoid that in the future. Think of designing your e-commerce store as the foundation of your brand's success. Today, I want to help guide you through the process of setting up this foundation. I'm Joe, the founder of IWD Agency. We specialize in crafting and optimizing high-performing e-commerce sites for the last 15 years. We've worked with brands such as PayPal, Penn State, Bobcat, Purdue, and Marucci. We've built hundreds of stores and generated hundreds of millions of dollars through those stores. This is the exact process we've used to build those brands. Our aim when building an e-commerce site is to set the foundation for the brand so that they can grow and optimize continuously after the initial build. If you think of your site as a building, you would never start construction without knowing the initial blueprints and the plans of what you're building. This is also where you should start with your store. This is the research and planning phase. In the planning stage, you should look at your brand story and your product's unique value propositions. You'll want to write these down even if you're designing the store for yourself, but if you have a team, this is even more important to keep the entire team focused and concentrated on the goals of your brand and the unique value propositions of your products. Also, if your brand already has a brand guidelines, this is a good place to note them here as well, such as your brand's fonts, colors that you use, and your logos. Next, you want to look at your top competitors and take away as many key insights from them as possible, especially if they're a larger brand than you and if they've been around longer than your brand has been around. Look at not only what they're doing well, but also opportunities where you think their site is missing. You'll also want to look at brands that are crushing it that aren't necessarily in your market but have a similar audience as you. This can give you key insights and ideas that have been proven to work. For an example, Amazon, they're the king of e-commerce and are constantly optimizing their website. They spend millions of dollars testing optimizations and conversion rates. So why not leverage this and borrow what works? The next phase after you've done your initial research is the wireframing phase. This is a key component of designing your storefront, and many brands skip this phase. The issue is many times when brands skip this wireframing process of the design process itself takes way too much time and you don't have a clear focus of what elements need to be on what page and where they should go. For anyone that's not familiar with what a wireframe is, it's a basic sketch of your website without any design. No colors, no fonts, or photography. You can think of it as the blueprint of your website. Here we want to focus on making sure all the right elements are on every page to support your brand and your unique products. Every brand is different and has different needs. So your wireframe should also be unique for your brand, depending on how many products you have, your customer demographic, and the elements you need to showcase your products correctly. While it's important to note that every brand is different and has different needs, it's still ideal to follow e-commerce best practices. As customers are familiar with how traditional e-commerce sites work, if you start changing the layout too much, this can confuse your customers and lower your conversion rates. I'll go over some layout usability best practices for e-commerce for desktop version. Mobile devices will be different, obviously, but still follow some of the same principles. So for best practices for desktop, you'll see this on basically every major e-commerce website out there. In the header, you'll have the logo on the left side, and then in the middle, you'll have your search bar. And on the right side, you'll have your cart and then my account elements. And then below that, you'll have your navigation. You don't want to change those around too much because users are used to navigating for my account on the right side or their cart on the right side. So I'm going to keep these the same in practice. And then for the home page, generally, you'll have your homepage banner. And then below that, you'll have your best sellers or a list of your products. And then for the category page is usually pretty simple, but it's going to be a grid layout typically. And then you'll have any kind of filters on the left side or on the top. For the product page as well, you'll find the layout very similar for most major e-commerce websites. Your product photography will be on the left side, and then on the right side will be your pricing, your add to cart, your size information, and a short description. And then under the fold will be any ancillary information that you need to add about your product. So you'll want to keep these basic elements the same for users to your website. Don't get confused, and so their eyes know where to go to find right information on your website. As far as the wireframing goes, you'll want to create the wireframe for your top pages. The main page is typically your home page, and then your home page elements. The header, navigation bar, and footer will flow through the rest of the pages. And then you'll want to do your product page and your category pages. Those are the three most important pages to do with wireframing. You'll then also want to do a responsive layout as well for your different device sizes. devices. Ideally, you'll want to start with the device that is most common for your merchants. For B2C websites, 80% of customers are typically on mobile devices. So you want to start with the mobile design first so you can put most of your concentration there and then go to desktop. But it's vice versa for B2B. So B2B merchants, most of their customers are on desktop. So you typically want to start with desktop first and then go to your mobile version. So now that we've done the initial planning and the wireframe is complete, the design will be so much easier to implement now that you have your basic layout in place. This is where you can start having fun with your photos, fonts, colors, and adding your brand element. As mentioned before, you'll want to focus on your top pages. Once you've completed the design for each of these pages, then you'll want to make sure that they're designed for each breakpoint. That'll be your mobile and desktop versions. Typically, it's 4 to 5 breakpoints that you'll want to design for so that you get all different device sizes, from large desktop to iPad or a laptop device to your phone to a smaller phone. So 4 to 5 breakpoints is recommended. If you're working with a client or a team, you can break down these elements to work on them in parallel to speed up the process. For example, we typically start with a home page, and once this is approved, we send this off to development while we start the design phase of the other pages. And one pro tip that we always remind our clients of is that we want to keep the design as simple as possible and not adding too much complex functionality on the initial build or too many apps. We can always add those later, but for an initial build, kind of want to keep it as simple as possible, concentrating on your core elements, and then you can launch the site, start making money, and then you can also see how your users react to the site. And if you add new elements, you can see how this affects your conversion rates and if your customers enjoy these features. You can also then focus on these more complex functionality or apps to make sure they're implemented correctly. But if you add 20 different apps and a whole bunch of different functionality, that will only make the process of getting your site live and making money a longer process and more of a headache. And it will be also harder to test because you have so many things changing at once. So this is the basic overview of our design process that we use for a client. After this, the next stage of the site is we send these designs to the front-end developers to start building out the site. At the same time, we'll be wrapping up the back-end development. This is any data integrations, migrations, or logic that doesn't affect the front end. We'll typically have already started those elements while the design process is going on. So hopefully we'll only need to be wrapping those up while the front-end design is getting built. After this is done, we'll do the site configuration where we set up credit card payments, transactional email, shipping, and taxes. Then we'll do a quality assurance of the full site, testing every breakpoint, making sure the credit cards work, making sure the taxes work, and trying to actually break the site to make sure that when it goes live, we don't run into any hiccups. Then after the final quality assurance, we go live, and then we do another test of the site as well once it's live, because things can break after go live. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up. And if you need help designing or implementing your dream store, hit us up at IWDagency.com. The link's below. And again, this is Joe from IWD Agency, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.